What?
The Great Christmas Light Fight is on! Ho, ho, ho!
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday, the week before Thanksgiving, the week before many of you turn on your lights for the first time so that you can spread the holiday cheer for your community. And I know some of you have actually done that this weekend, and I really, really appreciate that. Good for you for being done early, and I'm tired for you, but I know you're enjoying your labors, and I'm really glad you're resting a little bit this morning and joining me, Brian Michael, the librarian, your resource for everything related to the Great Christmas Light Fight, and not just that, more, everything related to Christmas. And I want to talk to you this morning about a few updates. I figured it was a good day. This was an impromptu live. Thought about it last night and said, hey, I haven't been on in 2 weeks. Let's see if I can get some people to join me, because in some parts of the country, it's raining this morning. That's right. The last weekend before the big push, and many of you are dealing with rain. But it is supposed to clear up here in the Pennsylvania area a little later this afternoon. So you'll be able to get out there and decorate, and I hope the same is true for where you are. So I don't know how many viewers I will have this morning, but I will check in on comments as we go through. Again, because this was a last minute deal. I even had to go get the shirt out of the laundry so I could wear it this morning, but it's on, the uniform's ready, the Great Christmas Light Fight's ready. And there's a lot of cool updates to talk about this morning, because if you have not been on Facebook or Instagram this past week, there have been tons of announcements about the Great Christmas Light Fight, not only from the show, but from the contenders. The contenders, that's who we want to see, the contenders. And we're going to talk about some of those today. But thanks again for joining. We're giving some people some time to get in here with this last minute live. And I won't make it long unless you have a lot of comments and questions. We can go as long as you want, but it's going to be less than an hour, probably more like a half hour. And I got some cool updates. So before we get started, and while people are joining in, let's get the librarian in officially, and let's start some conversation. So let's put him over here next to Turbo Man. Very cool. Hey, speaking of Turbo Man, if you watched when I went to the Ohio Mini this past July, I visited a place called Castle Noel in Medina, Ohio. You need to go there. It's the world's largest private collection of Christmas movie memorabilia and other Christmas memorabilia. Well, speaking of Turbo Man, they had the full costumes there, the one that Arnold Schwarzenegger won, and they just literally in the last 2 to 3 weeks obtained the Dementor costume that Sinbad wore. And they also have Booster's costume there that the gentleman from Revenge of the Nerds won. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he played Booger. He played Booger. Nice name. So get there. And you know when you can get there? The next year's Ohio Mini. So make sure you do that. And I'm hoping to be there again. But we do have people joining in. Put your comments in. Let me check on them. Again, there's not many. Everybody said, let's go live. Let's have some fun. And let's talk about other things. So let me check out some of the comments here. Again, there are only a few, but few's better than none. And if you missed joining us this morning, obviously this can be restreamed and replayed later when you're resting or having a cup of coffee in between breaks. But I got Colin Fitzgerald, new. That's a new watcher from Beaverton, Oregon. Hey, that's a far away. I was just very close to your neck of the woods this past week on a business trip. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that because it ties into Light Fight. I was in the Wyoming and Denver, Colorado area. Joseph Gonzalez. Oh, you know what? Like I got to show you there. There you go, Colin. Got to pop you up on the screen. I forgot to click the button. Sorry. Can't do that to a new viewer. Then we got Joseph Gonzalez joining us. Greetings from Southwest Kansas. Kansas is a great place. Been there many, many times, mainly in the Wichita area for work. And I almost moved there a long time ago. And very windy. But I did live in Oklahoma, so very, very similar. All right. They're the only comments we have in so far, but we do have several viewers. And let's kick this off and talk about the Great Christmas Light Fight. So let me get my fact book out here to guide us for today. You know, it has a lot of the fun facts about the Great Christmas Light Fight. And the first thing we're going to talk about is upcoming season 13 of the Great Christmas Light Fight. And that's right. It's only less than 2 weeks away, but there's been a lot of activity this past week, as I've mentioned. And the first one was the drop of the teaser promo on social media outlets. I have not seen it on TV yet, but they've dropped two actually. First, they've dropped the teaser promo for the whole season, and then they dropped a teaser commercial that's about 30 some seconds for the premiere episode. And it features a lot of people that not only watch this channel, but I'm friends with them on Facebook, and I've been to a lot of their displays, and I'm looking forward to seeing the footage because they're seeing it for the first time too with these little teaser clips. Also, you want to pay attention because in the next week or two, and then beyond that, each person will get to put out their promo clips. Light Fight will send them a little teaser clip, minute, 2 minutes, kind of shows them decorating their house. And it's the footage that they'll see to kind of get them in the spirit for when their episode premieres. So we'll check that out. But first, let's check out that quick commercial. And if you haven't seen it, here it is. The Librarian has it for you. So let's check it out real quick. And again, if you have comments, put them in. If there's something you want me to talk about, ask in the comments. And we'll get to that. All right, if you didn't see it, this is the very first teaser clip for the upcoming season 13 that was posted about a week and a half ago. So enjoy it, and I'll be right back.
It's Santa.
The Great Christmas Light Fight.
La 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 la. Flawless.
Thursday, December 4th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Cheers to that. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? I'm so excited to see the clips and the footage because you get that professional Hollywood quality video. Some of these displays I've seen or have been to a few in the past, and it just looks so different on TV, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And I know those people are excited about that little teaser clip, and just as much as I was. So have any comments on it? What did you like in the teaser clip? What did you see? I think it could drive some discussion. And I'll show the longer clip here for the premiere episode, which is on December 4th at 9 Eastern time. So make sure you pay attention to your time zones and your schedule. And if you're on the West Coast, I'm going to apologize in advance. I will do my best not to spoil the results when things air, but just don't look at social media if you want to wait and be surprised, because people on the East Coast and in the Central and then the Mountain States, they're going to start seeing everything, and they're going to start posting who won and did they agree with it and what did they like. So, hey, I know one of the contenders, Jimenez, who I will talk about here out of Phoenix, he's created a pledge logo to put on your website that you won't spoil the results. So kind of fun. But what do you think? I am really excited, and let's talk about the very first episode that's coming up on December 4th and who is on that. I talked about this when we broke the news about the matchups and when the calendar would start and who would be premiering and where they would land. So let me pop up a screen here. I saved that slide, and let's talk about the season premiere on December 4th. And this is what you got. First, you can warm up by watching Celebrity Family Feud Holiday Edition, but that's just some fodder because the real fun starts at 9 Central. Again, watch your time zones. The Great Christmas Light Fight season premiere, The Holiday Express. And I think if you watch that promo clip, you can kind of understand where some of these little subtitles come. Saw a lot of trains, model trains. I'm not sure whose display those are in. So if you're watching, maybe tease us, tell us who you are. But in that premiere, you got the 3 matchups. And again, if you did not hear the news and you're new to the channel and you haven't been following the Light Fight through its history, used to be 4 families per episode. There's a change this year. They're going to 3 families per episode. So a little bit over a 33% chance to win the $50,000 and, more importantly, the coveted Light Fight trophy. And the reason they did that, we're going to get to see more behind the scenes, or so they say, or we're going to get to see deeper views and angles of these wonderful and elegant displays. So the first ones you're going to get to watch, and the very first person to kick this off is a light show. Yes, we are kicking off the season premiere with the Peluso family out of California with a light show. So if you have a Pixel show or an AC light show, I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. That's going to be followed up by the Greason family. So check that out. Greason, I don't know who you are. I did find where you're located, but I didn't bring that up yet. I think I have information on your display, but this is, again, a season of newbies, I'll call it, because if you're in any of the Christmas decorating groups, some of the names don't post anything or they're not in there. So this is one of them that I can see. And then finally, we got Carl Jimenez out of the Phoenix, Arizona area. Great looking display from what I can see. He's been very active, posting on his socials about being on the show. So check it out. And then if that's not enough for you, Light Fight is going to stack us 3 weeks in a row every Thursday for 2 hours, 6 total episodes, 3 families per episode, including a heavyweights episode. But after you get your snacks, your hot cocoa, fill up the Light Fight mug, then you're going to watch Tanya Nyack. Tanya Nyack, my favorite judge, our favorite judge here at the Michael family Christmas display. And we're going to kick it off with the Irvin family. Again, another family that I do not know who they are, where they are. If you know where they are, let me know. I'd love to get a preview of their display. They'll kick it off. And then we got Brad Lunar and Candace out of Ohio with their massive light show, but it's not just a light show. That's the thing about Light Fight. You're going to see all kinds of displays. They may have a big featured pixel show, but they have a lot more. Store props, DIY, custom props. I think they're going to wow Tanya, and I've met them before, and I'm really excited to see them. And then finally, you are going to have the Kopats family. They are also out of the West Coast, and they have been actually they posted their little teaser clip that was provided to them by Light Fight. So look for the A&S Christmas House. You might see it on there, or find Alan, and he's sharing his video, and it looks great. So good luck to these premiere episode families, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. So are you excited? If you are excited, or if you have a question or comment, put it in, check it out. If you're not following the channel or you're not subscribed, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, because I do have some episodes coming up right after Thanksgiving. So I probably will be quiet next week, but I got a huge episode I'm going to talk about on December 1st that you're going to want to join, especially if you're a Light Fight fan. All right. So I just showed those first families. Let me check the comments, see if there are any comments, and then I will play the promo clip that introduces a deeper dive into those premiere episode and those families. So let's see who we got. We got a couple comments in here, and we got people joining in. Like I said, thanks for joining. Impromptu. Wanted to do this. It's raining here. Maybe it's raining where you are. I hope it stops so you can finish decorating. Well, let's check in on these comments. So, oh, somebody's up early, and one of my favorite people, Evelyn Quintero, is all the way in Atwater, California, putting up her peaceful garden. If you don't know Evelyn, which you should, she was featured on the Great Christmas Light Fight and won with her peaceful meadow. She wildcard our Oster house, and you know, he got to smell fresh flowers just like I did when I was out in the mountains this past week. Evelyn, thank you for joining. I know you've been messaging me a little bit, and I'm glad to see you're there. Can't wait to see this year's display. You are up early, though. Joseph's asking, would you like to be featured on Hoarding Holidays? I'm actually going to talk about hoarding for the holidays, even though this is primarily a Light Fight channel. So just hold that thought. I don't know. I thought about it. I'm hoping they have another season. The more Christmas shows that feature families that do what we do is better, whether it's Light Fight, whether it's Hoarding for the Holidays, whether it's the one that the Hallmark Channel had out last year. I'm drawing a blank on the title. They're awesome, and I hope they're more. Maybe I would want to be on there. Whoa, somebody else joining for a little bit. Patrick Mock last year was going through what all the new people are going through out in Texas. I saw you guys had some heavy rain this week, so maybe you're not decorating or you're just getting ready in the morning. But thanks for having some coffee with me. And yes, I'm going to talk about, and I got to put a note here because I almost forgot in my notes. Thanks for reminding me, Patrick. My OK Texas Xmas. And it's not just going to be okay. It's going to be fantastic. Okay just means Oklahoma. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But let me write that down as a reminder. Thanks for joining, Patrick. And I'm going to see you soon. I still didn't book a hotel yet by you. I got to do that. Oh, they must have heard me talking about them and are excited as well. Candace Lunar from the Lunar family. That's going to be on the premiere episode. Thanks for joining, Candace. I hope you and Brad are all decorated and ready to go because you were going to have people coming to visit you this year. Lots of them, more than you've ever had before. So can't wait to hear how it goes and what the excitement's like. And I hope the weather's holding for you. It's been very windy everywhere around here. So hopefully everybody's setups are surviving, because here in the Northeast PA area, and I know other places, besides rain, we've been getting 50, 60 mile per hour winds like at least once a week, or at least so it seems. Do I have anything else on here? Oh, that's Patrick. I just did that one. And Candace did follow up. They're working hard to get done their display over there in Ohio. So, all right. I'm going to hide this comment here and look for more. The one thing about this software, I've talked about this in the past, new comments come in. It's so hard to see which ones you looked at already. So if I miss a comment, just bump me again and I'll read it out there. But keep them coming, keep them coming. We got a good amount of viewers joining, I guess, in training. But let's go back to the media. And before we move on and talk about some next topics, and since we talked about the premiere episode, let's show the recently released promo commercial for the first 2 episodes. So there was the small teaser that was 15 seconds long. This is a deeper dive, shows you more clips. Let's check it out, and then I'll be right back. Enjoy this.
This Christmas, the Light Fight Express is steaming towards our season premiere, with 2 pixel-perfect episodes on Santa's list.
That right at the top. Go figure.
So set your TVs to record.
They're watching the Great Christmas Light Fight!
Race home like a reindeer on Christmas Eve. And swing by to watch.
This is the coolest Christmas gift ever!
Amazing. The clips look amazing, even better than I thought they would. And I'm not a doubter. I just seen so many displays. You're wondering, what are you going to see next? What are you going to see new? What are you going to see that's different? And what are you going to see that got these folks to be on the show? And you're going to see a lot of cool stuff. I'm excited about some of that stuff. I've been doing some research. I found some video clips, for example, where you see Carter swinging on the rope. That is at the display in Parkton, Maryland. I believe that's the Greason family. I think I just remembered that. So all those cool little clips, and it's fun trying to guess if you know some of these people that are on the show. Hey, is that their display? Is that their display? Because they flash it so fast. But the commercial is awesome. And with respect to the commercials, although I have not seen any on TV yet, if you have, tag me, let me know, send a comment. This is the earliest, at least in a few years, that Light Fight's put out the teaser commercials. Usually they do it about the week of Thanksgiving. And now we've gone 2.5, 3 weeks where they've released commercials. And like I said earlier, if you're just joining, some of the contenders have just received their little promo clips that they will be able to share on their social media sites if they wish to. It used to be you got 2. You got one that was called your home package, if you've ever been on the show like I have. And it really shows you introducing yourself, doing some setup, and they give you a little teaser of that. And then if you didn't get it yet, and I'm assuming they still will do it, you'll also get a second clip, is where the judge first meets your family for the very first time on your reveal night. And typically they'll show the introduction, and they might show you, do your 3, 2, 1 for your start device, and then they blank it. And of course, they're leaving you for anticipation for when your episode premieres. So I still remember when I got those, I was so excited. And if you have yours and you're watching, you're probably like I was. Kim and I, when we got ours, we just kept flashing it on the screen, rewind, because people are afraid of what they're going to look like or sound like on TV, self-included. And it turns out amazing. It's absolutely amazing. By the way, if you do want to be on the show, we're going to talk about season 14 a little bit because some information came out. You want to go to lightfightcasting.com and apply. They are taking applications for season 14, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But you're going to want to, before you do that, you're going to want to go back to my channel and watch a couple videos. The first one is my first premiere episode, the second episode, actually. It's called the Casting Episode. And that's where I interviewed all 10 of the Great Christmas Light Fight casting associates, from the executive director down to the guy who actually puts your pitch video together, and everybody in between, including AJ, including drawing a blank right now, the librarian, fix blanks. You got Jamie, Christina, etc. Hey, I'm drawing a blank. More coffee. But they're all in there. They tell you what you need to get on the show, and it's the first time that all of them been together in once, and it's kind of fun. Then, more importantly, If you are hesitant about getting on the show and don't know how it all works from application to filming and airing, watch my step-by-step episode. It's about an hour, hour and a half long. It is super detailed about what it takes to get on the show and what's needed, and still applicable for most of everything that's happened. Of course, my experience was season 11, so check that out. All right, we got comments that coming in, and then I'll talk about a couple other things. So a few comments coming in. Oh, we got Evelyn again. She went out this morning, too cold for decorating. That's right, you're in Northern California, so it gets a little chilly out there. Bundle up, get some hot chocolate, put on some Christmas music, or if you're really a fan, turn on YouTube and just listen to past episodes of me, the Librarian, talking about Christmas, talking about you a lot. All right. Oh, speaking of hoarding for the holidays and friends, we'll talk about hoarding in a minute. Nick Antidormi was featured in the season premiere and show premiere of Hoarding for the Holidays on HGTV, and had an impressive display. And he's a couple hours from me. I went to his place yesterday. You can watch a video of my visit to his display from last year, so it'll give you a little bit deeper dive into his full display lit up, and it's going to be even bigger this year. So thanks for joining, Rain. I hope the rain is supposed to clear out, at least down here. Patrick wants to know something else. Did they sign off on Carter swinging on that rope because he couldn't ride an inflatable mechanical bull? Yeah, it's funny. So you talk about that. If you watch Patrick's episode, he has the Texas-themed episode with all the cities, and he had Carter as a judge, and Carter sat on a homemade steer. He was supposed to have an inflatable one, or maybe a real one, and tried to lasso this to start the lights. And like Patrick said, legal from Light Fight didn't allow him to sit on that, so they had to come up with another device. But it's funny you say that. I didn't know what to expect as a new contender when I was on, and I thought they might want to go on my roof. So, and I have the way my display gets set up, I do it from the back of my house, and I have a patio that gets the ladder up, so it's easy to get up there. They wanted me to take a picture of every ladder I owned in case they use different ones, and then they had to submit it to legal and wait to see if they approved, which they did, by the way, and we never did it. Anyway, that's funny. But it's funny you say that. Not only the swing for the upcoming episode, last year you saw Tanya get up on a lift, one of the high lifts to start a light show. She was strapped in with safety devices. But if you're watching Spaces and Places, which I'll talk about in a minute, the reruns of the show, it's funny seeing, they just showed one last night. I forget what season it was on, 2 or 3. And Carter's walking on the roof with nothing. So they used to do all that stuff. So that's funny. That is funny. Oh, another past light fighter joining. Northopolis, West Laco. I always say that wrong, Ray. But Ray Banda. And Ray does these stuffed dolls that him and his mom do and put out every year. Really cool. He was supposed to come to the Florida Mega Mini, and believe it or not, he lives in a very dry climate, and they got over a foot of rain, and his flight got canceled, so we never got to meet in person. But there is another Florida Mega Mini this year. I don't know if they'll have any judges like Tanya Nyack or Carter there, or Felicia from the production side, but it's still a fun time, good time to get together. But thanks for joining. And just like he said, it's way too hot for decorating, but he's getting done. Some people wish they had your, I decorate here, and I usually start September and go up through Thanksgiving. And when I first start, it's so hot on the roof, you burn yourself. And then you're sweating, and you're like, oh, I wish it was cold. Then it gets too cold, and you're hurting your fingers. And then we luckily get some of that in between, but we power through. All right, let's go back and move it along a little bit, because I said I wasn't going to keep it long, but we're getting a good amount of viewers. So hopefully you're taking breaks, or it's just because of the weather. But all right, I talked about season 13. We played the promo commercial. We played the deeper dive premiere episode commercial. And we talked about the families that are going to be on it. Good luck to you, families. Rooting for every one of you, but we know the judges will only pick one. But if you're not the one that gets the trophy, just know you look great, you deserve to be on the show, and you're inspiring people to put up Christmas displays and serve their community through a light ministry, if you will. All right, so speaking of Light Fight and a couple other things, I happen to have a business trip this week, and I was out west. I was in Wyoming and Colorado, and like I always try to do, if time permits, I look up to see if there are any light fighters around, and there's 3 in Colorado. Wyoming's never had a contender, so apply if you're in Wyoming. And I got to find one, and tried messaging them. He doesn't do a lot of social media. Matter of fact, I didn't even know if they did their display anymore because they stopped posting on Facebook, but they did show that they had a display up on Instagram. And who am I talking about? Well, if you watched the premiere episode of my season, season 11, you saw an amazing display that was tasty enough to eat. It was gingerbreaded all over the place, and every house wants to be a gingerbread house. I saw the Hazard family. So let me pop up a picture if you don't remember the Hazard family. And this is them. This is the Hazard family. You might remember it now. You'll remember it more when you see the house. That's their start device. Carter throws a switch, a red licorice rope light goes up, and boom, you have a big giant gingerbread house. So Walter told me that story. I pull up with my coworker. I said, we're going to go buy this house because it's right by the hotel. Found it. And there it was. He was out there decorating. Walter was out there decorating and didn't know me from anywhere. I had the uniform with me and the hat. Went out and I met Walter and we talked. He was so welcoming. We shared experiences about the show. He wanted me to come back, but it just didn't fit in my schedule, but maybe another time. I got to tour his basement where he still had some of the panels that he uses for his house. I got to hold the panels. He showed me how he makes them. He told me about how he takes the light bulbs out of every panel every year. So when you see some of the video clips, or if you don't remember it, that's insane. He let me go on the roof to look around and help out. I was very careful. His roof was a little easier to climb on than mine. And I got to meet his helper, Nick, who helps install the installation. It's his neighbor kid. He's now a young adult. I don't know his age, but he's young. He started when he was a little kid, helping Walter decorate. So I'm hoping to get back there. His wife was working, and his daughters, I guess, don't live in the home anymore. They're older. But was there for a little while. Great stories. He shared his experiences with Light Fight. He got to meet his 2 dogs that were chasing us around. They were watching us, meet some of his neighbors, and really, really cool. I made a video about it, and I have some pictures. So give me a minute of your time here to play a video of what I got to see, if you haven't seen it posted on my Facebook page, and get your comments in, because then we'll talk about some more things. But this is my visit to the Hazard Gingerbread House in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Check it out. I'm subtly craving gingerbread cookies to dip here in my coffee. But it was an awesome visit. I wish I could have made it back. The only sad part was he's only about 50% done, so I didn't get to see it lit up in person. But I can always go back and watch his episode on Light Fight. Matter of fact, season 11 is currently only on Disney Plus, unless you have some other streaming services like Roku and Pluto. You can watch the Spaces and Places channel. So yes, if you're not familiar with the Spaces and Places channel, just download your app for your phone. Many of you have either on your phone or your TV has streaming capabilities. You can watch Light Fight 24 hours a day for the next month. The only drawback to the channel is they pretty much play it in succession. I think they occasionally mix a season up, but you can't go in and pick the one you watch. So my wife and I were joking. We had on yesterday. They were only on season 4. We're like, man, we're going to have to stay up till 4 a.m. till they maybe even get to season 11. But yeah, check it out. But if you don't remember Walter's episode, Walter did not pull out the Light Fight trophy. There's many that felt he should have, but he was up against another friend of mine. He was up against Gary Serlin and the Serlin family, who did the New City North Pole Airport theme, who also did not win. And he was also up against Preston Ward, aka Sky Element Drones, which was something Carter never seen and was kind of controversial. The drones pulled out the trophy, but I've met Preston. I've been to his drone show. I've helped held the drones. I have a video clip of it on there from our visit, and I actually went with Gary from the New City North Pole Airport. So check that out. Check out Spaces and Places channel to watch your episodes. As a matter of fact, let me pop it up. I have some content here to show this, and I got to remove this from the stage. Hi, Walter. Let's get Walter off of there. Love his outfits. But this is the Spaces and Places channel. I made a post on my Facebook page if you're not friends with me, but it's a public post, so you should be able to see it if you Google me. The links are there so that you can get to the apps that are streaming Light Fight 24/7. And again, I know several people have commented on it, that they've been watching it last night. We watched some yesterday and last night, and it's awesome. They're airing 1 through 12. When this was done last year, they only aired 1 through 5 or 6. So everything's on there. You still have 7, 8, and 9 on Hulu, and then you have 10, 11, and 12 on Disney Plus, and you also have seasons 1, 2, and 6 on YouTube TV, as well as some other outlets. So there's different places you can watch it. The advantage of those other channels I mentioned is you can pick your episodes, Spaces and Places, or Places and Spaces. I got it backwards. Sorry. It's Places and Spaces. That's funny. I remember when I was applying for Light Fight, I talked about DIY, do it yourself. They like to see it. I used to say on my submission interview, I called it DIY. And my wife goes, it's not DIY. I'm like, do yourself. Oh yeah, it's DIY. So Places and Spaces, check it out. I did not have Pluto installed on our new TV. Installed the app last night, and as soon as I logged in, boom, it was on. And it was fun. I'll probably check out some today after some college football. I do have my favorite team, the Oklahoma Sooners, playing a big game today and trying to stay in that college playoff. So I hope they do it. All right. Last thing on Light Fight, and then I'll move on to some other topics like hoarding for the holidays and upcoming shows. But if you did not know, I talked about some big news, and I already have the space holder out there. December 1st at noon Eastern time, I have a big interview with somebody that is very intimate with Light Fight, been around since the beginning, and is actually the executive producer. I am interviewing Felicia Aaron White, executive producer from The Great Christmas Light Fight. Now, she's done other interviews like on Christmas on Crestline's channel, and she's been on J.R. Matos' Professional Triers channel, as well as some other interviews. But this time, we'll do some of the basic conversation, but we're going to get into season 13, and then we're going to talk about what's happening in the future for season 14, because I know there's still some people asking about that. So you're going to want to tune in. I know it's an odd time, but it's when it could fit into both of our schedules. And then I leave for a business trip for the whole week. But I'm going to interview Felicia. Look for this post out there. I'll send a reminder out this week. As you can see, it's going to be fun in the library. The red book is going to get filled with more facts. You know, you can see it there in the screen. And I'm going to have some coffee with Felicia. And we're going to talk about a lot of things. So if you have questions that you want me to ask her, get them to me this week as early as you can, and I'll see what I can do. And I'm really excited about the interview. It took a little time to put it together. I was also supposed to interview Max Swedlow, who was a behind-the-scenes production executive producer, been around since the beginning. And that kind of got delayed or pushed back because they talked about season 14 and the changes with the filming that are coming. So I might as well talk about that a little bit right now. So if you saw my post about the Places and Spaces channel, Felicia sent that email out. And if you're a past Light Fighter, I'm assuming it went out to all past Light Fighters. If not, I know it came out to me, and it might have just gone maybe out to some of the people that do shows like this. But in that email, which I didn't post all of it, obviously, because it's directed to me, Felicia talks about season 14, and that Light Fight casting is open. They're starting to take submissions. If you're setting up and you're lighting up next week, now's the time to get the best footage. Watch my step-by-step video again. I'm telling you, you're going to want to watch that if you've never applied before, or even if you did apply before, to see what you might have missed that's been keeping you from getting on the show. And remember, some people, it's taken 5 years to get into the show. But anyway, in that email from Felicia, She says Light Fight casting will be open. They will be working with the casting team to start looking at applications for 14, and then they'll start doing notifications over the summer. And if you're getting on, you're filming right near the end of summer, which is going to be a challenging, but my step-by-step video tells you how that might be an advantage, especially if you're in an HOA, gives you time to plan. So check that out. Check out my interview with Felicia, and I'm really excited about it. Don't know how long it'll go. I blocked an hour. It could be 30 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be 2. It's going to be fun. And it'll replay. If you can't make it Monday at noon on December 1st, it will replay. All right, let me check the comments, and then we'll move on to the next topic. But there's only one comment in here. Let's see if I can figure out who it is, because, again, I can't travel this all the time. It's from Joseph Gonzalez. And what were the top 5 had to have new blow molds you wanted? And you already have the unreleased Little Debbie Christmas tree blow mold. Wow. Well, we don't get Light Fight Champ perks except for having connections out there that maybe could send you stuff. But I've been kind of calm on the blow molds. I did post on my last couple episodes as time went by. I got the Charlie Brown, obviously, right away from Walmart. I also got the Lowe's Snoopy Doghouse, which is really cool. And then I picked up a couple of the Disney ones. Now, the bad thing about some of those, from what I'm seeing that from people that have already put them out just for setup, the paint. That's been the problem with the paint. The blow molds are really awesome. The paint's got to improve. It's got to improve. So I have those. And then, oh, ironically, speaking of Charlie Brown and Snoopy, I did pick this one up. This is the miniature doghouse from Walgreens. If you have Walgreens pharmacy near you, I don't know if they have it online. This is about a 14-inch tabletop. It comes battery operated. However, like many of you, I modified it to take a C7. And I had posted when I found this that I think they nailed it. I mean, it's a great design. It's a great size. It's a great tabletop. It has woodstock on it, which I don't do that often. Snoopy on top. But when I went to light it, even the battery barely lit up, and then my fear came true when I drilled out the hole here to put the bulb. It's molded in red plastic, and then they painted the figure. So this is a microwave bulb. It's still not even bright enough. It's like 15 watts. I'm going to go get something a little bit brighter. It will light up, but definitely have to convert it. It's easy to convert. I would recommend in the back, because you're going to display it this way. You're not going to display it this way or this way. The other miss is, and I'm going to fix this too, especially because it's a real easy fix. Snoopy's door here, I'm going to paint that black, flat black. If you never painted a blow mold before, the good thing about black is, especially with this red molded plastic, you don't really want to brush it on, but you could do brushing. And I would recommend just flat black spray paint because light won't shine through. So if you're afraid you're going to mess it up, just tape it really well, just put a light coat on, and then that'll improve it. But yeah, that's some of the blow molds I got. I've passed on a lot. The only one that I didn't get that I was close to getting was the Spirit Christmas Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer blow mold. So true story, and I have a picture of it. My wife and I went over Halloween weekend to a murder mystery stay at a historic hotel in Cape May, New Jersey. And on the way back, there was one of the first Spirit Christmas stores, their flagship store. And I said, we're going to go an hour north on our way home back through the Philadelphia area, and we're going to stop there. And I'm going to get my Rudolph blow mold. I assume they might have one. I know it's hard. Well, sure enough, I got there. There's one on the top shelf. So my wife, who's in a wheelchair, as you know, and I get teased a lot by this, but she's used to it. She's great. Said, hon, stay there. I ran back. Literally, as soon as I go in through the door, I went under their little tunnel and grabbed the Rudolph. I'm like, yes, bring it back to my wife. I put it on her lap, and she's holding it in the wheelchair. And then some lady came up to me, man, you got the last one. You're so lucky. I think she then went over to one of the associates at the store, which are usually young people. And a gentleman comes over to me and he goes, sir, I hate to tell you this, but that is our display model. That's why it's on the top. And when I say top, it's literally like me just reaching right here on the shelf. Didn't say display on it. He goes, I can't sell it to you. He goes, I can take your name and let you know if you have it. I took a picture, by the way. I have a selfie of me holding this. I'll post it on my Facebook later. And he won't let me take it. He said it was display model, cut my name on. And I think I wouldn't say I would got away with it, but one, I didn't know, didn't say it was a display, and two, the lady must have complained because she wanted it. She was nice to me, but she's like, man, I really wanted that. Well, so did I. So that's the only one I didn't get. The rest I'm kind of, I'm cutting back a lot because of space. And to be honest with you, I love all the great designs they have coming out. Some of them just don't make sense to me anymore with Christmas. And there's too many Mickeys and Minnies, even though I love Mickey and Minnie and Disney. And they're starting to be just too many of the same figures. I kind of wish they'd go back to some more classic, generic designs. You never could have too many Santas, is what some people say. And then to answer your other question, because you asked about the Little Debbie's blow mold, I have no interest in it, zero. It's cool. I'm sure if I saw it in person, it'd be the leave no blow mold behind type thing, but I frankly have no interest in one. Maybe if it didn't say Little Debbie on it and was just in the colors, then I could tie it into my gingerbread themes, but I don't even eat Little Debbie cakes, even though they're really good. I don't know if that's sacrilegious, but yeah, passing on those. But thanks for asking. Oh, more comments. Brad Luner's watching. Again, his wife Candace is or was watching, and they're going to be on the premiere episode. Brad, I hear you. I was close to doing that. Again, I didn't know I had a display model. There's no tag on it. It's right here. Right here. Oh, by the way, a bunch of stores opened around in this Northeast area while I was on 2 weeks of business trips. One's up in about an hour for me. And I was going to go, but I'm pretty confident they don't have them anymore. I'm pretty confident. All right. Let's get back to some content. Let me get over here to my media assets and let's move on. So thank you for asking those questions. Do you have any more? Put them in. All right. I talked about season 13. I talked about FELICIA's interview coming up. Again, tune in December 1st. Talked about my visit to the gingerbread house. Talked about this Places and Spaces channel. And I mentioned my episodes that you want to watch, the casting episode if you want to get on the show, and the step-by-step. And then, of course, the upcoming FELICIA interview. Now I want to talk, and I talked about season 14 casting. And last comment on season 14 casting, if you want to be on the show, submit, apply, get the videos, start to build a relationship if you don't have one already with the casting associates, and just hang out and wait. I'm sure they're working out some logistics with the changes on the show, but FELICIA's email was pretty confident that they're working on it. So, all right, let's move to a brief topic, non-light fight related, and I mentioned it, and there's a couple people that have been on the show. Hoarding for the holidays. Who checked that out? Tell me in the comments, and tell me what you think. Did they represent the people well? Is the title misleading? Did you not like it? Did you like it? I thought it was really fun. Again, I'm all about shows that represent the lighting community, the collecting community, and the families that not only invest their time, energy, and money into this kind of hobby, but put it out there. And you know, some of us are neater than others with our storage. Some are not. I'm kind of maxed out, and I don't have stuff literally stacked sideways or shoved in like some do, but I do have a lot of stuff. And it was really exciting to see Hoarding for the Holidays. 2 episodes have premiered. There's another one coming up this week that's going to feature a past light fighter. And the previous ones featured some past light fighters, if you didn't know that, as well as people trying to get on the show or people that are really big in the Christmas decorating group. So let me pop up a little slide I took here. And this is Hoarding for the Holidays so far. People that I know that have been on the show. So that's why I put them up here. I didn't put every family up there. The other families are great. I'd love to get to know them, or if they're somehow find my channel or in some of the decorating groups. But yeah, here's Hoarding for the Holidays. And on the top left, you see Nick Antidormi, who lives up near Scranton, Pennsylvania, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, not far from me. Been to his display last year. I'm hoping to get there again this year to see what was on the show. And we've been communicating a lot as he was getting for this show and for Light Fight. I've been to his display last year. Like I said, that's a clip from my video that's on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's really cool. You don't understand half the stuff that Nick has and how impressive it is. And my video shows a little more of that, except for his new stuff, especially his animations, like his not hamburger, but his Silvestri and his snow babies and a bunch of other animatronic figures that from the 50s and 60s from department stores that he's been able to acquire and restore. They're amazing. You want to check that out. Then the one in the middle, that is Brian Watkins, also known as Chanel, who was on RuPaul's Drag Race. He's a female impersonator. Was on Light Fight in season 10 against the Allison family. who I've had on the show and who I'm friends with and met at the minis a couple times or at the Christmas Expo. And we got to see their $10 million plus of inventory and all their storage facilities on the show. And he did win the Light Fight trophy. And that was kind of controversial too, because a lot of his displays are used in Vegas malls and casinos, I think, and big commercial outlets, although he did his home with his stuff, and really impressive. But now we see the extent of the collection he has, and he's a Christmas crazy like we all are. And then last week also on that same episode, got to see Eric Schulis. Eric's been to my house. That's him there holding my Light Fight trophy. His dad was also here, but didn't want to get a picture. And I'm so glad to see him finally get on the show. He's a great young man, only 25, just like Nick's a young man. And they have bigger collections than I do almost. Well, I know Nick does. Eric's close. Eric's close. I have about 1,000 blow molds too, and a lot of other stuff. But I liked his Ferris wheel. I was at his display last year when I went to visit Frostland Village, which is the McCarty Williams family that was on Light Fight that had the big David Hamburger display figures with Tanya, and Eric's around the corner from them. So congratulations to you three. And then if you know Brandon Gress right here in the bottom left, he's on the upcoming episode, him and his mom, Lori, and he's become like a TV star. He's been on 4 different shows. He's been on Light Fight, had Carter as a judge in season 5. He's been on the show that Hallmark had last year. I always draw a blank on that title. He's been on this and he's been on a couple other things. So pretty soon he's going to be making all kinds of acting money and signing contracts to do big feature films. So check out Hoarding for the Holidays. Totally different than Light Fight. It's not a competition show. It's to show off collections. The title's kind of fun, but curious what you folks think about that title. But congratulations again. I'm looking forward to the last couple episodes to see who else I might know, either from Light Fight or from the Christmas groups. All right, there's no comments on Hoarding for the Holidays, so we'll move on. We're getting close to finishing up here on this impromptu librarian episode, breaking Light Fight news and so forth. All right. I played the commercials, played my hazards one. I have a closing video that I've played before, but I'm going to get you guys in the mood. But how's your decorating going? How's your decorating going? If you didn't know, I'm not doing a display this year, but like we've talked about, I'm hitting the road. My wife and I are hitting the road, and we're visiting past Light Fight displays. And we have 5 planned, and we're either going to do lives from them, or I will do a recap video after. I'm taking my drone, taking my cameras, taking my mics, going to get good footage, even though they have it already. And I'm going to show you how the trip went. Going to spend time with their families and hopefully have some food, maybe some drink, water. It's going to be a fun road trip. And there's a lot of displays in Texas, Oklahoma area. I've actually been to a few before in the past life, but might pop into others, but kind of on a schedule, driving a lot, and looking forward to seeing Jordan Maywald, Patrick Mock, the Slankards, and Brandon and Tiffany Brown, who were the Candyland Christmas house. We're also supposed to go to Mike Jones' drive-through display, who was on Light Fight as a residential family many years ago and now has 4 million lights through a drive-through display. And close to Ben Sumner's house, if you know him, he won with a nice house decorated like a vintage house with David Hamburger display figures. I've been to the Downs family before in Oklahoma when we lived there, but could pop in there. And I have the list of, there's 40 plus people in Texas that have been on Light Fight over the years. So if there's a way to pop in, I'm going to do it. So that's fun. But how's your decorating going? Anybody want to comment on it? I see a comment in here. One's in here. Chuck Jones, local. He's talking about Hoarding for the Holidays. His wife says he needs to be on that show. Apply, Chuck. Apply to all the shows. I know you've been trying for Light Fight. You're close. You're getting there. And just stuff your storage facilities and you might get on Hoarding for the Holidays. Hopefully there is a next season. All right. Oh, we got Ray chiming in to come down to Northopolis. I'd have to look. I'm trying to remember if you're much further south. The farthest we're going south is San Antonio for a night to see Mike Jones, but I don't remember which city. I know what city you're in, but I don't know where that is in relation to there in Austin, but that would be cool. That'd be cool. if I can make it work, I definitely would love to. Would love to. All right. So my impromptu live is gone 50 minutes so far. We're about to hit. I said it was only going to be 30, but maybe an hour. But you guys have tuned in. We got a lot of viewers, got a lot of questions. Just a reminder again, one, on the YouTube channel, please like it. Please share it so other people watch. Help me get more viewers. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button for when we go live. The next notification will be on December 1st with my interview with FELICIA and White. Again, join that. Love to have you on there. If you have questions in advance, send them to me. Send them to me. If you want to be on Light Fight, watch my video step by step, the casting episode. And again, you can apply or nominate somebody at lightfightcasting.com. So please do that. We'll get more updates about season 14 when I interview FELICIA. And again, thank you for all your comments throughout the show. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good day decorating if the rain's pulling out. And again, follow and like me on Facebook. And the fact book's going to get thick, folks. Season 13, less than 2 weeks away. The families are ready. I'm ready. Watch your social sites to look for the teasers that the different families will likely post that give you a glimpse of what their episode might look like. Look for more commercials and make sure you set DVRs or get your streaming services ready. We need viewership. We want to make sure Light Fight continues. So watch, rewatch, DVR it, watch it again. Another comment before we get out of here. Oh, Evelyn. Looking to accomplish a lot this weekend. No rain in a few days. Don't do rain and electricity. Yeah, rain and electricity don't mix, especially when you're crawling around putting a garden together. John Chase joining. Hey, don't recognize that name. Thanks for joining, John. Took off all next week to do a display. That's what I usually do. Usually I take off the week of Thanksgiving, but since we're not doing a big display this year, I'm working. But good luck out there and have a great Thanksgiving. All right, I am going to wrap things up here like I've been doing. I really appreciate you joining. Watch this back later. Have some fun. Again, contact me with any questions or comments or things you want to know from FELICIA and White when I interview her next week. Have a great Thanksgiving. Spend time with your families. If you are decorating, make sure you take breaks, drink plenty of water, eat more turkey, make a nice sandwich with all the leftovers. They sell them at our convenience store here. It's called the Gobbler. I don't know what other people call it, but yeah, they're good. They're good. Don't eat too much turkey, though, because you don't want to be tired because you're going to have lots of visitors to your displays. And you're going to want to be able to stay up late to watch Light Fight. I am hoping, final comments too, working with Charlie Byers from Christmas on Crestline. We're looking to do live recaps again or next day recaps of the episode. We're looking to do a watch party potentially with some of the executive producers or field producers. We'll keep a little wraps on that until we get it firmed up. And I'm going to hopefully be able to tie that in with my road trip because I am busy with work and my OK Texas Xmas as well. So everybody, thank you for joining. Can't wait to see your light displays. Can't wait to see Light Fight. And I'm going to close things out with this montage video and then the show will end. You might have seen this before, but just want to get you in the spirit. Didn't have time to create a new video. Enjoy and thank you for watching me, Brian Michael, the Librarian, your great Christmas Light Fight resource. Have a good day.
It's cold, but together with you, I feel warm. There's something special. Calling for people, calling for peace in this world. The snow falling on us while we walk together. Watching the stars and the lights of the cars all around. Have a wonderful Christmas, Christmas time. Have a wonderful Christmas, Christmas time. Have a wonderful Christmas. now and forever, live all together in peace. Tonight, the spirit of Christmas inside the hearts of so many people in this world, people like you and me. Have a wonderful Christmas, Christmas time. Have a wonderful Christmas, Christmas time. Have a wonderful Christmas, a magnificent Christmas time. Christmas Have a wonderful, wonderful ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Have a wonderful Christmas, Christmas time. Have a wonderful Christmas, Christmas time. Have a wonderful Christmas, a magnificent Christmas time. Oh, it's Christmas, oh, it's Christmas, oh, it's Christmas.